Abigail, who was a woman that King David married. But first she was married to Nabal, who was very wealthy, very rich. David was asking for some help, some food and sustenance, because they were in need, as he was fleeing from King Saul because Saul was trying to kill him. And David and his men had watched over Nabal's flocks and sheep and his men that worked for them, so that no one would harm them. They proved to be like a shield to them. And so he figured, well, I'll ask Nabal for some food. You know, we didn't ask him for any money, but we're in need, so let's see if we can get some help from him after providing such protection for him, his people and his flocks. Well, Nabal wasn't so appreciative. He came back with words of anger and not willing to help David at all. Even if David had not helped him, he could have at least been merciful, but he wasn't willing to give David any of what he had. And so King David when he heard the message, was like, well, let's saddle up. It's time to go and kill some people. Now, Abigail, Nabal's wife, she enjoyed this rich privilege, but she wasn't in the mindset of Nabal. She wasn't selfish, she wasn't unappreciative, and she wasn't about to use her privilege as a means to be offensive to others and not be merciful. And so what did she do? She gathered together provisions, a lot of provisions for David and his men. And that day she stopped blood guilt from happening and David coming to his own rescue over some food. She was merciful to others, and she brought reason and good counsel even to King David. And so when Nabal died, which was pretty immediately after this event, David knew a good woman, and he asked her to marry him, and she was willing. And from her statement, she was showing such a humble attitude. Very good woman. Riches did not taint her at all. But then you take this other woman, Jezebel. She had privilege. She was the queen. Her husband, King Ahab, he was wicked, and she incited him to wickedness and engaging in idolatry with Baal worship. When Elijah took on the challenge of the Baal worshipers versus the God of Israel, and it was proven that Yahweh is God, and he had all those Baal prophets killed, Ahab was just going to take it and just go home, and he was dejected by everything, but he was still going to just take it. It didn't seem like it was going to do anything about it against Elijah. But not so with Jezebel. She sent a message to him and said, I'm going to kill you. And Elijah knows she wasn't playing, so he took off. She didn't take the evidence that Yahweh is God and accepted, no. Her defiance, her privilege, all she could think about, I'm going to kill you. And then when it came to Naboth, who didn't want to sell his vineyard to King Ahab, King Ahab was just going to take it. He was dejected, he was down about it, but it didn't seem like he was going to do anything about it. Now Jezebel, she told the king, aren't you the king? And she sent words and information or instructions in the name of her husband and had Naboth framed and killed. And then she told Ahab, there you go. You can go and take over the vineyard because he's dead. So you got two different women. They both had privilege, but they had two different attitudes. You have these Karens thinking they have the same authority to make an accusation and have it be believed in making false statements about black men and have caused the death of many. the lynchings and massacres of many based on their lies. They realized that when they lied, they had privilege and they were not going to be prosecuted. And they used that power that they had of being believed to show their evil and their wickedness in framing people like Jezebel framed Nabal. It's better to call them Jezebel. Karen is such a nice name that really they're not even worthy of the Karen name. They should be called Jezebel because Jezebel is their mother. She is the example the Bible shows of a woman who gets authority and is evil, and how she tries to use that authority, feeling that there will be no repercussions to what she's doing. It was foretold in the Bible that Jezebel would not get away with what she had done. When King Jehu rode up on her and her, wherever she was, the castle she was in, and she thought she'd be able to sway him with her womanly charms. But he was not to be dissuaded. He was not to be so charmed. He said, "Who is with me? Throw her down." And they threw her down. Dogs ate up most of her. The fact that those dogs ate her like that in fulfillment of Bible prophecy shows how God feels about women like that. Abigail is among the many Hall of Fame women in the Bible, such as Sarah and Rebecca and Ruth, Rahab, Mary, Elizabeth, Deborah, Priscilla, and many others. They are a great cloud of witnesses for all women today to know what you got to be like if you want God's approval.